it is not fair that we have to come out. It is only because of the privileges of the default white cis het. And if you are none of those, you have to make choices to come out or to defend yourself for being anything other than those things.
Whether you're in the closet or halfway out the door, it's time for another episode of Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth, currently carrying around a secret so heavy it's got its own email account, but plotting exactly when to hit send. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch, watch a movie, and then we carry it into the studio and unravel it like Anne Shirley arguing her way through an essay. It's not a critical review, though we probably will be critical. Is a coming out story also a love story about everyone learning to be seen? Wrap yourself in your Gigi's Hudson Bay blanket, climb into the blanket fort, and let's watch a movie that is new to both of us. There's no crying in baseball!
You're so weird.
What? I like doing the non sequiturs.
I noticed.
And it fits into the movie because there's no baseball.
Dear Lord.
I know.
Save me.
I'm so sorry. Sometimes I feel bad for you.
Yes. So what movie did I pick out this week?
What movie did you pick out? It is Love, Simon, 2018.
Yes, it is. I'd never seen it, but I literally Googled LGBTQ plus movies with happy endings. Because I didn't want to be sad.
No, I think that's okay.
And there aren't many.
No, but it's important that we have them.
Yes.
Because there are so few. The few that we have are very important to us.
Yes. I'm gonna jump a little bit here, but I think the only part about this movie that is a little disappointing is our lead is not actually gay.
Yeah.
That is a little bit disappointing. But other than
Sure.
that, it's a very, very sweet movie. So Love, Simon is about a young man who is counting down his days to graduation, and he has a big old secret, and he has 3 very, very good friends, and they're just kind of coasting through high school, and he kind of like accidentally meets somebody online who goes to his school, and he's also a gay individual, and they start talking, and then somebody finds out about it and uses it to blackmail poor Simon, and shenanigans basically happen. I mean, not really shenanigans because it's not that type of a movie, but things happen, high school-y things, and in the end, Simon is a better person, I guess. And, I don't want to give away too much. I mean, we're going to give a movie away, but it is a newer movie, like not newer, but it is more recent than a lot of our other movies, so
We can talk about it, though.
Yeah.
So this is based on the 2015 young adult novel, Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda, by Becky Albertalli.
Yes. And she was also one of the writers in the movie.
Right. It's the first major studio film with a gay teenage protagonist at its center, which is kind of cool.
It was directed by Greg Berlanti, who is a gay man, whose husband actually has a cameo in this movie. He's married to soccer player Robbie Rogers, and Robbie Rogers plays the soccer coach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, so Greg did Dawson's Creek.
CW.
Yeah, he did Dawson's Creek, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. You're going to see a lot of aspects of that.
Sabrina, yeah.
Brothers and sisters.
Prodigal Son.
Just gay.
Yeah, I mean, he even...
A lot of heterosexual gay
And he
on.
put up with Misha for Gotham Knights. I love Misha, but Misha's a lot.
So the screenplay was with Elizabeth Berger and Isaac Aptaker. It's a weird pronunciation. That's why I had to double check it. It's weird for me, not for Isaac, of course.
No, it's his name.
And that was, I guess they team up. This is Us. I have not seen that show. Love, Victor, which is a TV series spinoff, I guess, of this
Yes.
movie, and How I Met Your Father.
Like spinoffs.
Yeah, some of them, sure.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, it's a duo. They're a duo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't look into that.
Well, what's really funny is the actor who plays Bram, aka Blue.
Yeah.
He came out because of this movie.
Oh, that's nice.
And but also he was Wally West in everything that Greg Berlanti did in the CW.
For the CW.
Yeah, so
of course,
he's young Flash, yeah.
Well, I knew that. I just didn't realize that he actually came out.
Yeah, he came out because of this movie.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So this movie is, in some ways, very saccharine.
Yes.
And in some ways, very sweet without being saccharine. And it does have some of the best case scenarios and some of the worst case scenarios with sans the violence.
Yes. It's a perfect world almost where things, happen and they don't always happen the way you want them to, but they don't happen to the detriment and the heartbreak of trauma, to the level of trauma, I would say.
Sure. Well, let's talk about Simon real quick, because Simon is a closeted white cis boy.
He is very sweet.
Who lives in an affluent area.
Mm-hmm.
They are all in the burbs.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wanting for anything materially.
He gave his sister a Cuisinart for Christmas.
Sure.
And I can't even afford a Cuisinart. I don't want one, but I couldn't afford one.
Sure. They're living in a nice house. The parents do well. I think one of them is a therapist.
Yes, I believe that's Jennifer Garner's character.
Yes, a psychologist. I don't know what the father did, but they were high school sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed together throughout all of that.
He never grew up.
And they're very happily married and everything. And and he does have, and Simon has a sister. So it's the ideal family life. You're getting that idea of the idyllic family life of the white cishet kind of lifestyle that is going to be very forward in this film for the first part of it.
I do like what Jennifer Garner's character says. Her name is Emily. At one point, it was early on, and Simon's like, "Mom, don't therapize us." And she's like, "Well, if I did, you'd be better than you are."
Right, like I would have fixed you by now.
Yeah.
So Simon is carrying this secret, and we'll get into that, but that's not really the issue. I think the issue with Simon isn't that he's gay, to me.
No.
The issue for Simon, to me, is that he's losing so much time not being out. And that is a common refrain from every out person who is ever outed in their out lives, is that we wish we'd done it sooner, or wish we had felt safe enough to do it sooner. Now, I certainly don't advocate coming out at the cost of your life. I don't advocate coming out of the closet if it's unsafe for you.
No, not to your own detriment, no.
No. And certainly not the way it happens in the film.
No, not having somebody out you for spite.
Right. But I think that Simon's he's stuck. He is stuck in this place where he doesn't want anything to change because he's in high school, getting ready to come out of high school. It's very scary. But also, he's got dreams. And those dreams are scary too. So he dreams of going off to college and then expanding his world and finally coming out and being super gay.
But they have he has this fantasy dance routine that's happening around him. And then he goes, maybe not that gay.
Maybe not that gay. But that's the thing, is we all have that. Everyone that's in the closet has the dream of coming out. And I'm going to get away from this area. I wanted away from my small town. I wanted to come out. And how did I do that? I went into the military. That was a brilliant choice on my part because...
right during Don't Ask, Don't Tell peak.
Right. Yeah, it was at the worst possible time. Not forever, just for my period of time.
Yeah.
That was the worst couple of years to be, going into the military and being trans or queer in any way. And I'm pansexual, so I'm not gay or lesbian. I am not bi, I'm pan. And I know that's confusing to people, so I just don't worry so much about the connotations that I know what they are. No one else needs to know.
Trust me, it confuses people when they know I have children, they know I have an ex-husband, and they know I have a wife, and then it's like they look at me and I'm like, don't ask me. I'm not even going to explain it. It's not worth it, and it's not your business.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect my work.
But we come out in our own time, as in the best case scenario. We come out in our own time and we get to celebrate that. And sometimes it takes us longer. It took me 40-something years. Simon was forced, but he got to come out much sooner. Mm-hmm. And so did Blue. Blue came out on his own.
It's so weird because that was my nickname for so long.
Right. But he made the choice to come out. That was something he got to do, and Simon was denied. Mm-hmm. But that idyllic life, he feels like he's going to lose it. And that's not just his family, but his friends. And it is very true. It's a cost that people do pay for coming out. I paid the price. It's not a price anyone should have to pay. Much like Simon says, which is funny, but much like he says, it is, and I've thought this, I've said it to you, it is not fair that we have to come out.
Oh, yeah.
It is only because of the privileges of the default in this story, the default in our world, that the default is white, cis, het. And if you are none of those, then, or none of any of those particular ones, you have to make choices to come out or to defend yourself for being anything other than those things.
How's about this radical idea? We don't care what our children are. We don't care as long as they are happy and healthy. And guess what? Then they don't have to come out to you because it's just a matter of that's who they're with.
Sure, but it's more than just the family. It has to be a cultural
thing. I know that. I mean, but it shouldn't matter who we are.
It absolutely shouldn't. But culturally, we have to make a choice. And we have to decide, are we going to come out or are we going to stay in the closet, which is a protection, but it's also a prison. Mm-hmm. And it's something you have to live with. You have to live with how much time you spent in that closet if you ever do come out.
I feel bad because, I never really, I don't think I ever had, a closet. I mean, I did for other things, but not for my sexuality. It was just who I was. And if I didn't tell anybody, it was because I didn't feel like it was something that they needed to know. So for me, it was never an issue, but I understand why and how it can be an issue for people. I think that's kind of...
And some people get away with that, but it's very few.
Oh, yeah, because I pass as heterosexual and I was married, I have the children. And again, it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling that we live in that society. And I think part of that is why our children were raised the way they were. To not, it doesn't matter, just be who you are.
Yeah, it's not a
be
thing
happy,
for them.
Be healthy.
The only thing it was for me when I came out, the fear was not really our kids. Mm-hmm. I had so much faith in our kids, so much belief in our kids that I didn't even think that it would be an issue. Sure, I had some fear about coming out and confusing our youngest.
Yeah.
That was my fear, was confusing her because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to explain it well enough for her.
Yeah.
And it turns out there is no good explanation for things. You can't make someone understand something, but what you can do is give them time to process, which is what I tried to do.
Yeah.
Is try to give people time to process the things. But I lost family. I lost friends. Mm-hmm. Those are things I lost. Am I sad about the losses? Yes. Am I sad about not having those family and friends anymore? Not really, because the family and friends I retained, those are the quality. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones I know I can count on, that I never have to worry about how they see me. That is something that Simon didn't get to choose.
No.
Because he was outed.
By a little douche.
By a person who had no self-awareness. And the thing is, if you don't have self-awareness, you don't realize how you affect other people. and your actions are often just childish.
Mm-hmm.
And they're petty and they're small.
It's like when we were talking about Bedazzled and Brandon Fraser's character in the beginning of the movie and how unaware he was that people did not like him and the way he presented himself. And I understand that when Martin comes to, well, when he first blackmails Simon to helping him hook up with Abby, but his unaware of how people perceive him is evident when Simon's trying to help him, with his clothes and with, and he's like, I want her to like me for me. And while I appreciate that, I want people to like me for me too. But there are some things you have to tone down before you can explode on the crazy.
Right.
You have to tone it down a little bit. And then when they get to know you, then you can be the weird ass motherfucker.
Sure. Well, Simon is played by Nick Robinson, as you said, who is a
Straight.
heterosexual person. He plays Simon Spear. He was in Jurassic World, Everything, and Parallels.
Mm-hmm.
That's the things that I have listed.
Yes, I had Jurassic World.
And then we have Martin, who is Logan Miller, who was in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, Escape Room, and the Stanford Prison Experiment.
And that's interesting. I've never seen that, but I know the actual Stanford Prison Experiment.
Sure. Yeah, these are all 2015 to 2019 movies.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a movie about that.
I didn't either. So yeah, the dynamic between the two is it's Can't Buy Me Love in the worst possible way.
Yeah, because Martin's a dick at times.
He's actually, I think Martin would not be a bad person if he were self-aware.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is outgoing.
And he did try, he was empowering when it came to Abby. He wanted her to, it was ridiculous how he did it.
Sure.
But it was, trying to get her to appreciate herself.
I think that he would, if he just would have been a better person, and he wouldn't have outed Simon if he had been more self-aware.
10 years before, like if this took place like in 2005, he would have been Milady Tips Fedora.
Right. I don't know. It's so hard to deal with that type of personality. Mm-hmm. And Simon's forced to deal with him because he is afraid. He does not want to be outed. He does not want his world to change, even though he is slowly working his way in with these emails, because a lot of this movie is a lot of you've got mail.
Yeah.
It's two people kind of falling in love through email. On a lark, he responds to this post. I guess there's a school site website.
Yeah, that's weird. That's cool, but weird, and definitely shows
it's weird
you how
that it's not moderated.
Yeah. And
that things are left up that should obviously not be left up.
Yeah, it definitely should be moderated. The thing also that bothers me about Martin is that there is a 99.9% chance that he will go to college and become an incel. I can't get girls to like me.
I think we can talk about it now. I don't want to ruin the ending or anything, but the way he is at the end, I think he becomes more aware. I want to allow for the possibility of change, especially with children.
Yes.
Because they're still forming their ideas, they're still forming their personalities. And I think that this is not a matter of being not aware of yourself and of how you affect others is not an inherent trait. It is a skill that you learn.
Yeah.
And some people learn it early and some people learn it much later in life or never learn it. And I think Martin, at the end, he doesn't really redeem himself so much as he allows for the possibility he's not the bad guy. That he has some redemption along the way later on.
Yeah, yes and no, because he does come up and act like a complete ass. But then he's like, well, I'll pay for the tickets. So, he's
just still doing the very big dramatic thing, but you don't learn to be self-aware all at once.
No. He is a kid. It just, he just smacks of like people I know who have not gotten better in life.
That's true. And that's a part of not being self-aware. But I think that I want to allow for not just him, but any child, I want them to be allowed to be able to be better, to change, and to learn. You learn the thing and then you adapt, and then you find out that what you thought before isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you change that. And I think we lose that as we get older. We lose the ability. So I think that Simon also isn't happy with him. And obviously he's very upset, and he should be. But I don't think he forgives him in the end. I think he just accepts the fact that sometimes people are dicks and they have to work through it on their own. It's not his job to correct him. It's not his job to enlighten him. And it's not his job to walk him through this. Just like it wasn't his job to help him find love.
No.
With, the various people. I guess it's Abby that he really loved.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. So his best friend is Leah. And Leah, when he comes out, when he's outed, and they get mad at Simon. And it's not really fair that him and his friends get mad at him, because he was A, protecting himself, B, protecting Blue, and C, he thought Leah liked, oh gosh, I can't think of the friend's name.
Alex.
Is it Alex?
Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Alex, wasn't it? Oh, no, it's Nick.
Nick. That's it.
I'm sorry. I for some reason I had Alex stuck in my head, but yeah, it was Nick.
So she thought that, or he thought that Leah liked Nick. And
Sorry.
that because Martin liked Abby, he was kind of trying to pull Nick away from Abby and push Leah to Nick. Little did he know that Leah was in love with him. How was he supposed to know? And she gets mad at him at first, and she does forgive him later on, but it's frustrating. It's that lack of communication. I am often told that I talk too much and I give too much information, but you know why? Because I don't like to be misunderstood. I want people to know where I stand at all times.
Yeah, but a lot of people think that that's being very defensive. I get that all the time because I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah.
They think I'm being defensive. I'm like, that's not defensive. That's me asking questions. I get it. And
I could tell, they're not saying it outright, but I could tell by the looks on their faces that I'm trying to get like a cookie or a pat on the head. Like, because at work, I'll be like, okay, so we did this today and we're going to do this. And it's so that my supervisors know where I stand and what we're doing, because not everything I do is written in the lesson plan that they're not looking at anyway. But I feel like they look at me like, oh, I don't, it's okay, good, great job, fantastic, woohoo. And it's not what it's about. It's just, I'm very transparent and I like people to know where I am.
Yeah. So Leah Burke, who is Simon's best friend, is played by Catherine Langford. And do you recognize her? Because she was the girl in Knives Out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It took me a bit, and I was like, that's who that is. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And she was also in 13 Reasons Why, the TV series, and Spontaneous. And you're going to see some crossovers with some people like Nick Eisner, who is played by Jorge Lindenborg Jr. And he was in Bumblebee, Spider-Man Homecoming, which I didn't know, and Love and Monsters. You have Miles Heiser, who is Alex, who's one of the friend group, who is in 13 Reasons Why as well, Parenthood, and Nerve. So 13 Reasons Why keeps popping up in here.
Yeah. Well, they're part of that age group of, that we're in that, that's like now, like everybody's in Euphoria.
Well, I mean, it's like you get Blue, the guy, who plays Blue, which is Kanan Lonsdale. He's in The Flash. And, stuff like that. So the Divergent series and Wild Oats and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, Tony Hale is in this movie as Mr. Worth, the school principal.
He's got all his hands.
And he has both of his hands, but he is well known to being, he's the youngest of the, oh my God, I forgot their last name at the last minute. Bluth brothers.
Bluth.
In Arrested Development.
Yeah. He's also in Veep and Toy Story 4.
He is in Toy Story? Oh, yeah, he is in Toy Story 4.
He's also in Sight.
It has just now started pouring on us.
Yeah, you're going to hear some noise because it is
raining. It's ass
deluging.
Raining, it's lightning and thundering, and Gosh, I hope the chickens and turkeys put themselves up tonight.
Me too. So Simon is not closeted because he's ashamed of being gay. He just doesn't want things to change. And being scared is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Being scared protects you. It's, I think, living in fear that becomes an issue. You have to learn that fear should not control your actions. It should just guide your attention.
True.
The coming out thing, it is not a lucky break for Simon. It just happened. It is a bad thing for him, but he does make the most of it because he doesn't back down, and I love that. I love the fact that he still comes into the school.
Oh, yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah. Which has got to be hard because everyone is looking at you. But did you notice that Mr. Worth was wearing a pride flag pin?
Yeah. But, here's the thing is I came out at work in a very conservative area at a very conservative job. I posted an email. It's kind of funny because it's all through email. But I posted an email to work the Friday before, what was it, Thanksgiving?
Oh, gosh,
Christmas.
I don't remember now.
I think it was Christmas. I'm not sure. It was before a holiday.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a week or two before we came back.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted it because I was like, on Friday, it will give them a week or two to process. I want them to process this. I want them to have it out of their system because when I come to work, things are changing for them.
Yes.
Things aren't changing for me so much. They're changing for them. And people hate change.
Yes.
And people don't like the messenger of change. So I gave them time. And then I came to work feeling the same way I felt that Simon was feeling when he came through that into the school.
Mm-hmm.
Every eye on you. And as I walked through, because this is like a fairly large company with a lot of people, and I don't know everybody in that company, but they all know me because I've been there the longest, and I just don't know everybody in every area.
Yeah. When
I walked through the doors, honestly, I hit a mode of this self-protective bubble of I just didn't feel anything. I was numb.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like a day later that I started feeling anything about it.
Yeah.
I came home and I was a little bit giddy.
Yeah.
But only because I made it through the day and I didn't have any big thing happen where somebody attacked or some crazy thing, you know? But what I got was this numb feeling of this is happening.
Yeah.
But I did make this choice. Simon didn't. But when I came through there, I certainly know what that feels like when everybody's doing something, but they're all looking at you with side eye to see if, I don't know, they think you're going to sprout a second head or belch fire. Whatever it is they think that gay or trans people do that's magical, that they're going to not know what to do with.
Yeah.
We have wings or something that come out or whatever. So I really, when he came through there, I had, this very visceral feeling of reliving that moment. And it wasn't super emotional. It was just very closed off emotionally. I closed myself off on purpose so I wouldn't feel anything if the worst happened.
Yeah.
Because I was being in protective mode. And I'm sure that's what the character of Simon was doing at that moment, or at least that's what I'm projecting.
Yeah. Well, he's going through a lot with Martin holding that over his head and everything, which, again, dick move. And it's all because he happened to take a screenshot of his open emails and basically ruining any possibility. Because at that moment, that's what it feels like for Simon is if he opens up and he says something, I'm not out, Blue is not out, and Blue definitely does not want to be out. And when it all comes out at the end, because Martin gets, rejected by Abby, because she's like, no, we're friends, and I think you're funny, but that's about it. That kind of makes Martin go, okay, well, I'm definitely going to out him. And he does publicly through the bulletin board, whatever it is that they for the kids, the online stuff. And then he acts like, he's the victim of it all because he outed Simon because everybody started making fun of him because of what happened at homecoming. And then Simon's like biggest fear is that Blue is going to reject him because of his fear. And that's kind of...
Well, he's afraid that Blue's going to recede away from, he won't be able to contact him anymore.
Yeah. And
that's his biggest fear.
And that's what happened.
Right. And yeah, it's not even about him coming out necessarily. He's contemplating it. But honestly, I think he just doesn't want things to change right before he leaves high school. And we all make excuses. I think, the excuse was brought up that, I didn't want to say anything because, my grandmother or there's always a reason why we don't come out. Mine was, I didn't want to tell my mom because she had level 4 lung cancer.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this because this. We always have a reason, but you come out when you're comfortable doing so, and you come out when you're ready to do so, or you come out when there's no option left but to come out.
Yeah.
And you'll have your own reasons for it, and that's fine.
But nobody should be forced to come out or to have somebody else out them. And
yeah, it was weird to me that no one was mad at Martin for that,
for
other
outing
than
him.
Simon.
Yeah, and again, it goes back with that whole, I get that they were annoyed with him because he did lie to Nick about Abby, and he did try to push Leah onto Nick, but also none of them were like, but that bitch Martin,
Yeah, and he was left pretty much unscathed by all this.
Yeah, and it's, though, who is to me, my personal hero of the whole movie, Mrs., what was her name, Albright?
Oh, yeah, Miss Albright is played by Natasha Rothwell. She's the English teacher.
Yes.
Who is also doing the...
Cabaret, the play.
Play. And she was in Insecure, The White Lotus, and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Well, what's funny is in the movie, she's like, I was in Lion King, and I'm putting up with this shit now. And I love her. Because when the two kids come up and they're making fun of Simon in the cafeteria and how she lays into them in only the way that a teacher can lay into a high school teacher. I mean, in a high school student. Because if I talk like that, boy, I'd be fired before my ass even got the first F out.
Oh, yeah. No, you'd be, in trouble very quickly.
But she was like, they're like, you can't talk to us like that. She's like, the hell I can't.
But I love that she stuck up for him.
Mm-hmm. And I love how she's like, I don't get paid enough for this. Like when the play starts and the cabaret sign falls, and she's like, and she's taking off her headphones. She's like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. I feel that.
So one of the things too, and we talked about this, and I had so much trouble not talking about the movie while we're watching the movie. I usually am pretty good at keeping a lid on.
We'll make comments, but not like...
But I really could not stop talking about everything because it's not that this is a fantastic movie. It's a very good movie, don't get me wrong. But it's just that there's so many coincidental things.
Oh, yeah.
And one of those things that we talked about, or that I had mentioned, I kept telling myself, Beth, shut up, was the character of Ethan, played by Clark Moore, who is a producer, a writer, and an actor. But he did Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Huge in France. So he's done several things. Glee. So he's been in a lot. But he is the out gay guy at school. That's everybody knows he's out. And he gets picked on quite a bit. I say picked on. That gives you a false sense of what's happening. People make comments to him, and he comes back with that elegant cattiness that shuts them down.
My favorite was, can I get some hummus for that baby carrot over there you're serving?
Yeah, because he was grabbing his crotch. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that, and it's true, though, Because I remember thinking this when I was in high school. We had this one guy who was out. He was a gay guy. He was out. And I didn't know how to explain who I was to other people. So coming out in high school was so much more complicated than gay.
Mm-hmm.
Because gay is already complicated. It doesn't have to be, but it's complicated to explain to hetero people. But trying to explain trans people when you don't know everything yourself, you don't even really understand it yourself, you just know who you are. And it's hard to tell someone, I'm a girl, and they have all these follow-up questions, and you're like, I just have the one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just have the one thing that I know I'm a girl. I don't know how to explain that part to you. But there was a gay guy at school, and he was out. I don't even know when he came out, but I think it was like, 5th or 6th grade. We were in a small town. It was very well known, and nobody that I know picked on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was with the cool kids all the time.
Yeah.
The cool girls.
Yeah.
But he hung out with them, and I don't think anybody ever beat him up. No one ever, wanted to play, quote unquote, smear the queer, which is a huge thing to do in that school at the time. And they meant it. Like, they were going to play ball, but they were going to hurt you because you were weak, or they thought you were weak. So you had to pretend not to be weak at all. But I was jealous of him. I was jealous of the fact that he got to be him. And of course, you don't know everybody else's life. And much like Ethan says in the movie, oh, yeah, my life is not great.
Mm-hmm.
My mom still doesn't accept who I am. And, she's the one that's saying to his grandmother, all of the girlfriends he has and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't accept who he is. And Simon, just kind of assumes, and I did too, that the guy in high school, and we have a very small high school, so the people that know me will know who I'm talking about, which is kind of weird. Because I came out to my school too, way after the fact, 30-something years after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on the school sites. They know. But I was very jealous of him because he got to be him all through high school and for the rest of his life. But I was only jealous because I didn't have that moment. I didn't have the ability to come out. I was afraid of my father, who I don't know exactly how he would have reacted, but it was often with fists. I was afraid to come out to my friends because, much like in the movie where you have Josh Duhamel, who's he playing? Jack?
Yeah,
Jack,
the dad, yeah.
Simon's dad. He was in Transformers, Las Vegas, and Shotgun Wedding.
Dorian Gray.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But he's making jokes the whole time. At the start of the movie, before Simon ever comes out, not on his own, Jack is making these jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear those things. We absorb those things and we catalog those things. When my friends and my family are making queer jokes, I catalog that. I knew for a fact I did not want to come out to these people. I was afraid. And every time they said something, it made me more afraid. It compounded the idea that they're not only are they not going to accept who I am, but it's a fucking joke to them.
Yeah.
And the worst part was that I started making those jokes.
Well, yeah, you're going to.
Because the best way to hide is to become the person they expect you to be so that you don't get those jokes told. But you end up propagating those jokes. You end up creating your own closet. And I did that. I essentially created even more of a closet. I reinforced that closet because I was playing along rather than being strong enough to say, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose my friends. But little did I know, if I just stepped up right then, I could have lost friends much earlier in life and not worked up a back history with them.
Yeah.
And anybody coming out of the closet regrets the time they spent in the closet because you could have been doing so much more. But trans people literally lose their past. Every bit of their past that they have in the closet, they lose it when they come out. We take on our own face instead of a mask. That mask falls away and people only remember the mask.
Yeah.
They don't remember you because they never got to know you. So you lose all that. That is one of the things that just hit me, is when Jack is making these jokes, Simon's face, I mean, that's so frustrating because I'm just seeing that same thing.
Oh yeah, no. And he does, and he's very it's awkward and uncomfortable, and the jokes that he makes. I get it. You have a teenage son and you're trying to, I guess, relate. But it was, I don't know, inappropriate. Like, I don't, as many times as our oldest annoyed me or I thought things were funny, I don't think I ever made it. Well, I don't know. Our kids they don't really get embarrassed about things. I tried so hard.
We tried to embarrass them, but
they didn't.
But it wasn't about their sexuality or anything like that, because our kids are very open with us.
Yeah.
And I think while we've fallen a few times, maybe not done the best job in the world in that aspect, we've always come around very quickly.
I mean, trust me, even now with our even with our middle one, he will say stuff and I'll be like, gay. Because he's so gay.
He is, but that's an affectionate gay.
My favorite picture of him is with his ex-boyfriend, and everything is pastel, and the boyfriend is standing behind him, and our son is sitting down, and he's holding the chihuahua.
Super
it
gay.
was the gayest family portrait ever. I mean, there were pastels everywhere. And it's
like they got the gay package.
They really did. And it was, I mean, it's adorable, don't get me wrong, but it's still the gayest picture. I show people, look at this shit. My kid's so gay.
That's a proud gay.
I love him to pieces. I love him so much.
But yeah, I mean, that's with Jack though. It's bordering on very easily into derision, where you.
And I can see why Simon would not want to come out to that.
Right, exactly. Now he's afraid because my dad is a bigot.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think that, because it's not like he's brought up, oh, well, yeah, I've got gay friends or anything like that.
No.
All he knows is that he makes jokes about gay people.
Yeah.
Where I used to hear jokes about gay people and, those drag queens when they're talking about trans women.
Yeah.
Or how they're prostitutes and shit like that. It was always something.
Yeah.
It was always very derogatory.
Yeah, I got some of that in different ways, like, how you don't dress a certain way because that's whorish, and you don't want to be a whore, and and only girls like that had like tattoos. And what's really funny is I heard that my whole life. You're not going to get tattoos. Tattoos are for bad girls. Blah, 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 and just trampy girls get tattoos. And then when my middle sister was 15, my mom actually signed the papers for her to get her first tattoo. And her reasoning was because she was going to do it anyway. Yeah. And then now there's 7 years difference. So let's see. She was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was 21. Still, I didn't get my first tattoo until I was 26. And my mom actually got her first tattoo like about 6 months before mine. It was like, yeah. She only has the one, and it's a little tiny heart with daisies, but still. But it was weird, and then she felt bad, and then I think, she was part of me getting my first tattoo. But it was still like one of those moments where it's like, she's like, I know, it was old-fashioned thinking. I'm like, yeah, what you old-fashioned thought all over me, and even now, sometimes I don't even notice that I have tattoos, and then I'll catch, like, I know they're on my arms.
I do it too. The one that I've got,
but I'll be
notice
like,
it.
I'll be doing something like I've been subbing this summer, and I'm in a classroom with teachers who don't know me, and I'm wearing short sleeve shirts, and because it's summertime, and my tattoos show, and then I'm like, oh, I hope they're not judging me, and then I realized, you know what, where we live, 90% of the populace has tattoos. So, no one's judging me because of them. I wouldn't have gotten the job. I have the credentials to back me up, then some. But it still freaks me out. So, yeah, because that's just that learned. And I know that's so mild compared to the reality of what we're talking about. But it is, in a way, kind of how I can relate to it. So, how I love weird little things that kind of come back around. So in the very beginning of the movie, Nick gets in the car. They're going to school. And he starts talking about this dream he had about David Beckham, right? Was that who he said was in the dream?
Yeah.
So it was David Beckham. My favorite line, we both wrote it down at the same time.
No. Yeah, go
was
ahead.
it Leah who says it? I think Leah says it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no analyzing dreams before coffee. And bless.
That is a perfect line.
But here's the thing. So Nick is talking about this dream about David Beckham having two different colored eyes, a red eye and a blue eye. And he didn't know if it was something he had to choose. Abby says that he is a cross between Cristiano Ronaldo and Sigmund Freud. And Cristiano Ronaldo, if you don't know, is a soccer player. So later on, now it's Abby who has the choice, who's not really having a choice, but she's the one who's kind of in the middle between Nick and Martin and their affections for her. And at the party, they go to this Halloween party, and Nick is dressed up like Cristiano Ronaldo, and Martin comes as a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is so...
So it's portent.
Yeah, but... When Leah asks, like when Nick asks Leah out, Leah's wearing blue and Abby's wearing red.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. That's very good.
Yeah, I caught that earlier. I was like, that is neat. I like that. I love weird stuff like that.
So one of the love stories in this film, and I think there's a couple really, it's not just about, Simon's love of Blue.
Mm-hmm.
I know I keep calling him Blue, but that's how I know him.
Yes.
It's the first one that I know about is obviously the family, but the couple is Simon and Leah. So they're friends, but that friendship carries as much emotional weight as a romance does. And Leah is obviously mistaking that weight for something else.
Yes.
She's sensing this thing with Simon, and it's her own unexpressed feelings that kind of, I don't know, mislead her into believing that this is about a romantic love rather than a familial love or a love of friendship.
And that's, again, you kind of get the impression that Leah likes Abby. And while that's not touched...
I know, I did.
So that they're actually, according to what I was reading, I believe that they do talk about that in the book, or there's a sequel, but it's not brought up in the movie.
Okay.
But, yeah, you don't...
I definitely got that sense because I pointed it out to you.
Yeah, but you don't know if she's... because she's saying, she feels left out. She feels like she's on the outside staring, looking in, and there's a line. And I am thinking it's just because she's awkward, because I felt like that too in high school, that everything was happening around me, and I may have been at the party, but I wasn't at the party. I wasn't a part of the party. It was fun, and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't doing the things and being a part of. So one of my favorite memories of being a teenager was, oh God, I don't know how we didn't die. A friend had a boat, And it wasn't a very big boat, but it was a boat where you had a cabin underneath the front of the boat. And I don't even know what kind of boat it was, but we took it out. It was nighttime and we went out.
Schooner?
No. It was, but yeah, it was like a fishing boat, but and it had the deck and everything, and really, it was a nice boat.
Like the Orca.
It was a nice boat, but it was, no, it wasn't even that big.
Okay.
But I think there were about like 7 of us on this boat, and we ended up going out into the bay. Nobody remembered to drop the anchor. We turned off the outside lights, and we were inside the cabin area, just sitting around talking and playing games. And even in that intimate, tiny little area, I was still the odd person out. It was like, and it wasn't like we were all couples. I think there were only like 2 couples. And I wasn't part of it. And it was because I was never a part of the group.
Yeah.
Again, they all grew up together and we drifted. God, did we drift? I don't know how we didn't go ashore, because when we realized that nobody put the anchor down, or how we didn't get hit by another boat, we had drifted pretty close to shore near a park in the area. But again, I get that. Even in such a tiny little intimate situation, and again, I had a great time. It is one of my most fondest memories. But I was never a part of the group, and I was only there because of a friend of mine, that she was invited and she drugged me along. And so I always knew that if it weren't for her, they would never have thought to invite me. And that sticks with you. So when when Leah is telling Simon, that's what I'm thinking. I had no idea that she was basically trying to confess her emotions. So how the hell was he supposed to pick up on that?
I didn't even notice it until they were going to sleep and she had kind of snuggled in.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's at the foot of his bed on a makeshift pallet, I think.
Yeah.
And the look on her face. That's when I realized, I'm like, oh, she's in love. I thought she was in love with Abby. I thought she was going to confess to him.
That's what I thought too.
I thought maybe that outside thing was her hiding who she is.
Exactly.
But I get that. I do get that. I think a lot of people get that. More probably than you expect, because a lot of people feel alone in crowds, even if they're popular and stuff like that. But I was never popular. I had popular friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a story much like that where we were juniors in high school. We went to a college and we hung out with a bunch of people there, a bunch of college kids. And it wasn't a party per se. It was just hanging out with them at in a fairly large apartment with a bunch of girls and a few guys and stuff. And we were like the youngest ones there, but we're all just kind of hanging out and talking, getting a little high, stuff like that. And I was there doing all the things they're doing, but there was definitely this pane of glass between us.
Mm-hmm.
And if they turned away from me, it's almost like they were outside, or, they were on the other side of a wall.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel seen at all. And that was fine with me, because I didn't really want to be seen. I wasn't even really enjoying being there. I was enjoying the fact that we were doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also I had a separation of, it's not me doing it. You ever try to play badminton in a Halloween mask? That's what it's like being trans and in a closet, in a college, in an apartment, hanging out with people. You just feel kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And you just get that echoey feeling in your mouth. You just feel sweaty. It's just a bad time all around. So I get what Leah is saying, but I didn't realize it was about love. But I think, again, it wasn't really that kind of romantic love she thought it was. First of all, love has to kind of be shared.
Mm-hmm.
One-way love doesn't really mean anything. It's more obsession or fantasy. But there's that the emotional weight of a friendship can feel like love.
I think that's why I really loved when he is talking to Abby in the car, and he outs himself to Abby, and Abby's like, "I love you," and and that is the kind of love that sometimes is ignored in teenagers. It's either teenagers get it or they just don't understand that kind of love. And Simon is so lucky to have that from Abby.
And Abby's lucky to have it from Simon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fact that they both were in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
When she said that and he said it back, they were in the same place emotionally with that discourse. She was letting him know, I accept you because you're part of us. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
I love you as a friend, as one of my friends. And he felt the same way. And it's so like,
it's very refreshing.
Yeah. It's so good that he gets to feel accepted almost right away.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that he's obviously going to freak out.
Yeah.
But even his freak out is very calm.
It really is. Honestly, I'm surprised at how calm it was, because I would have. I mean, he did have a crying fit, and but that's expected for him to break down. I'm surprised he didn't do it sooner.
But yeah, I mean, and when they do the flashbacks, not flashbacks, but the flash false of
his little daydreams or whatever.
Well, the default story of coming out hetero.
Oh yeah,
and people having to come out. And the parents being upset and having to explain,
you got that from your father.
Yeah, you got that from your father. That kind of thing is just, it turns it on its head. And it gives you the look of, for the people that just really don't understand being gay and are watching the film, you can get the idea of how silly it is that we have to come out at all by the fact that you think it's silly that we play that default story.
Mm-hmm.
So that story is silly on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
It's silly because no one should have to come out. We should just be accepted as who we are. It reminds me of that Star Trek episode I'm trying to remember with the Klingon and I'm going to say it wrong. But anyway, it's one of the characters in, I think it's DS9. But she's a woman, but she has an entity within her which was in a man at one point.
Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name, but yeah.
And he just readily accepts her because he's like, "Oh, my friend," and he says her would be her dead name, and she goes, "It's whatever her name is now," and he goes, "Oh, my friend," and he says her name. That is how it should be, and that's the thing of his friends just readily accept him. They're fine with that part.
Oh,
that
yeah.
isn't even the issue.
No.
But that's the way Joe was with me. My best friend didn't blink an eye. He just accepted it. He had questions, sure, but they were questions after the fact. They weren't questions at the time. He just said, okay.
Yeah.
And that was never a question of like what to call me. He just called me by my name. And I thought that was like the biggest thing you can do to cheerlead someone is just accept them as who they are. And that's what the family does here. It takes a little time to get to each of them. And Jennifer Garner's talk with Simon.
Yes. That was not originally in the script. She asked for a connection moment between Mom and Simon. And that was what they came up with. And honestly, that is a great moment. And honestly, I think that more people should use this. If they can't use their own words, should use this with their children. And it basically comes down to you are being your true self. I could see that there was something going on, that you were thinking really hard for a very long time. But now take a breath. And it's your turn now to be you.
Yeah. I think she did that very well. I think it was very well done. The scene was great.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did push the idea that nothing was changing for Simon, for them.
Yeah.
Because Simon was still Simon. It's different for trans people, but for Simon, it's not. It's not different. We need him to see us.
Mm-hmm.
And she did see Simon. And that's the thing, is you get to see the whole package, not just Simon, your child, but Simon, your child, who is also gay.
Well, I mean, that's
it's a facet of him.
As he said, nothing's changed. So she needed to say that to him. So you said it to us to reassure us, but I think you need to know you're still the same Simon.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's like, it's turning the dialogue on its side there, but it's important for you to understand you people, when you come out so many times, people are doing it, and yet they're still trying to like protect the people they're coming out to.
Yeah.
And
well, that's because you never really stopped coming out.
So when she says that to him, it's like her saying, you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to protect us. Just you or you. And we know that. So, but it's when the dad, as much of I was so mad that he made me like him. Because he made me angry through the whole movie. But he starts
because of his jokes.
But he's like, so when did you know? And this is also a problem as a parent. You're like, how did I not see this? How did I not know? And when our son came out as trans, I was mad at myself because how did I miss this? How did I not know this? 1 minute makeup and pink hair, and the next minute shaved head and no makeup. And it literally, for me, happened overnight, not realizing that this had been brewing for a long time. So I do understand what his dad was saying. How did I not see this? How did I not know this? How, because you look back and you're like, how did I, as a parent, fuck up so big? Not about the change, not about who you are, and you're telling me who you are. It's how did I fuck up in the sense that I couldn't be there for you? I couldn't see it all this time so I could be a support for you. How could I be making mistakes and saying the wrong thing all this time? I missed all this time. So, and that's the other side of it. So I got what he was saying. Now, his jokes were above and beyond. Yes. High school jokes coming from a man who left those high school jokes back behind in the dated era that they came from. But I understand him being upset with himself of not, of missing that time.
But he did come back with, being thoughtful and caring. And, he loves his son. And he made sure that his son saw it, that Simon understood that he loves him and that they're still okay. There's nothing wrong with who he is, and he loves him. And he's right there with him. In fact, let's join Grindr together.
That was funny. And he's like, Dad, I don't think you know what Grindr is.
And I forget what his response was.
I forget what he said, but it's
like
still
a social club
funny.
Or something. I don't know.
No, Dad, no.
But he's sweet if unaware. Mm-hmm. And his sister, Simon's sister, is fantastic. She's very empathetic.
Yeah, she gets mad. Like, he gets mad at her because he just found out that he had been outed, and she found out through it as well.
She not only found out, but she called and got it taken down.
Yeah, she
was very proactive and very careful with him.
And then she's like, well, maybe you can hide it. And then it's when he's like, I'm not upset about being gay. It's about being outed, and why would I want to hide it? It's out there now.
Hide it. But she didn't fully understand.
No, because she's a kid.
She's a child. And he understood that he was just lashing out because he was upset.
Yeah.
Because his choice was just taken away.
Yeah.
I mean, this is God moding. Mm-hmm. He just got his choice taken away. And nobody wants their choice taken away.
No.
We deserve to have our choices, to have our liberties. And that is part of coming out, is establishing your strength and who you are. But yeah, so he does come out. He doesn't just come out because he's already been outed, but he comes out. He tells the school. on that site, the same site that outed him, or the same site that someone posted, Martin posted to out him, I think he posted a letter that's pretty much, it echoes in a lot of ways the way I sent the email to my coworkers, to everybody in the company, not just my coworkers. I work for a company that is international. It went to everyone, everyone. And it's a huge multinational company, so everybody knew. And that's essentially what he did on his own scale.
Yes.
As he let everybody know, I am gay. This is who I am. And he let Blue know. You know where I'm going to be.
Yes.
Because Blue closed off contact.
Yes.
He said he can't do this.
Because he was afraid.
Right. And rightfully so. This is not Simon's story to tell for Blue.
No.
Blue has his own choice to make. Does he come out? Does he stay in the closet? That's his choice. And Simon's not forcing him. He says, there's no pressure. I just want you to know where I'm going to be. If you choose to come, great. And if not, that's your choice. He's not taking his choice away. And Simon does cabaret.
Yes.
You know, they do the cabaret, which honestly, the non-self-aware guy is a great, that's a great role for him, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think that when they go to the carnival, right? Not a fair.
Yeah. I guess it's a carnival. Might be a fair. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the difference between a carnival and a fair. Does one have animals? I don't know. Anyway, they go to the Ferris wheel, which is weird. I know. Everybody knows the ride of love is the tilt-a-whirl.
I was going to say the carousel, but sure.
Or the octopus. It could be any of those things.
The whip.
Yeah, the whip. That's the one. That's where you propose.
Yeah.
You propose on the ride.
While you're vomiting on someone's shoes. Bugs hitting you in the mouth.
Exactly. But no, they go to the most unromantic ride possible, which is the Ferris wheel. And they buy a bunch of tickets. His friends have accepted him back because they just needed time to get unmad. Not to not be mad at him, just to forgive him for the thing that he did. And they still love him, and they're together, and that's great. And I love that for them. I love that they just kind of fall back into friendship because it should be that easy.
Yeah.
And they buy a bunch of tickets. And he goes to the Ferris wheel and gives them all the tickets. And he gets on the ride. And I know I'm doing the blow by blow on this, but it is a good moment. It's a very good moment at the end.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all of it. But you find out who Blue is. And it's got a great ending because there are so many kids from that school
that were cheering him on.
Standing around as he gets on. And they're cheering him like he's a football star. And he's on the Ferris wheel going around and around. And they're still all standing there, even after all those times the tickets have run out.
Yeah.
And that's when
Martin comes up. And he's like, I'm here, I'm Blue. And he's like, no, you're the fuck not.
He goes, no, you're not. And he goes, no, I'm not. But this is brutal. And I just didn't want you to have to do this alone.
Yeah.
And instead he buys his one more ride. Because that's what he's got the money for. Yeah. And I don't want to do the end of it. I want that to be something for you to watch. But it's a good ending.
It is.
And it's affirming. It's an affirming ending because it's not just about him getting together with someone. It is about the people on the ground cheering for them because that's acceptance. That's what it feels like when someone sees you. That's what it feels like. A crowd cheering for you.
When the movie was being made, fans of the book were like dying because they kept the actor a secret of who was going to play Blue.
Oh.
Also, the images of the kids together, the photos and stuff that the director he used, what he would do is he would call cut, but he would actually keep the cameras rolling So them playing around and acting like kids,
Right.
that's what he would use.
Okay.
So that was how he built, like the relationships, but also like to show the relationship of the friends together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's kind of what you need to do sometimes.
I think they did this movie right.
I think so.
I think there can be some saccharine to it. It certainly can avoid some of the heavier things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it hits a lot of notes. And not every movie has to hit all the heaviest things.
Oh, no.
It shouldn't. We should be allowed the movies that we just love because they make us feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they make us feel bad or they hit all of our issues that we have in real life. I don't watch movies for real life. I watch movies for escape.
Oh, definitely.
Now, there are times where I'm going to watch a movie that hits on those themes.
Yeah.
And it is going to hurt. And I'm going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But I cried during this too. I cried good tears. I saw your tear.
Well, yeah, it was the dad thing.
I
was
know.
annoying because, I was so mad about it.
I saw your tear, which you don't tear up.
Nah.
You are very good about keeping tears out.
That's called trauma.
Yeah, I am not good about that. That is also called trauma. But we all have our responses.
Yes. When you're called a crybaby a lot, you'd stop crying.
It's true. But I think that in this movie, it's earned. Your feelings are earned.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't pander. I just love that.
Yeah.
I love that it's just a good story about friends and family. It's a little idyllic. But it doesn't have to be like the hardest things ever. Sometimes just let us have a good movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's that time, I guess. For the stitch count. We're gonna run this film through some yarn and a crochet hook, and we're gonna build an Afghan. Maybe. Or are we going to have to frog the whole thing and just toss it into the bin of lost yarn? Haha.
Okay.
You do your analogies on it, and I do mine.
Certainly did. So let's look at the Castellini test.
Let's do that.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
There are 3. Emily, Leah, and Abby.
This is true. Those characters must have a conversation not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
And, Emily, when she's talking to Simon.
Right.
And, well, I can't say Leah when she's talking to Simon because, honestly, she is talking about a relationship, even if it's not one that he understands is in existence.
Leah's not always talking about their relationship.
No, but Abby and him in the car, they're not talking about their relationship.
Sure. At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Honestly, I think all 3 girls. I think, to a certain degree, all 3 of them are kind of...
I don't know that Abby, as much as I love the character, I really love the character, I love the actress.
Well, here's the thing. If there was no Abby, then Martin would not have anybody to have blackmailed Simon over.
I hate to hinge the movie on being forced out.
No, but that would be that one. Leah, that is his longtime friend from childhood. So without that, there wouldn't be, I think, his way, just being very much well-rounded. I don't know if that would have happened. Like, I don't think he would be as well-rounded if he didn't have a friend like Leah.
Okay.
And I love them going to the Halloween party as John and Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
I think that was
that
great.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. What did one
Just
person
like they
say?
went to a garden party or something.
What did they say? I thought that she was who? And then he was Jesus.
Yeah.
I forget who they said she was.
I forget who they said she was.
Yeah, it was funny. But and Emily's his mom. And again, I don't know necessarily. I think if he was raised by just Jack, he'd be a lot more closeted.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be right. I don't know that it would affect, any of these would affect the plot of the film. That it couldn't reach the same ending.
Well, I don't know if Simon would have been willing to talk to Blue if he didn't have Emily's influence.
I'm not gonna overanalyze it.
Yeah, because I'm overanalyzing it. So I mean,
So I'm gonna say, let's just say it passes,
okay.
because I think there's enough feminism in this in a lot of ways that it's fine.
Yeah,
We're gonna give it a pass on that because I don't want to dissect it too much. It's about their relationships to Simon.
yeah, and there's definitely a feminist quality. There is equity, I think, when it comes to the women in this movie.
So we'll say it passes a Castellini.
Okay.
I'm making paper noise. That's what I do.
Paper noise.
So let's go to inclusivity and gaze. Now this is an on-off situation. We have a max of 4 points. So it's either 0 or 1 for each line.
Yes.
Racial diversity with agency, not just background.
Yes.
Okay. It's true.
It is true.
We have
lots
of different races. Not all of them are in the foreground, but we have several that are in the foreground who are main characters.
I don't know
or character adjacent.
I don't know if you caught the joke that Martin is racist and not really racist, but it's not the greatest joke. But he makes it to Abby, kind of in the background. He's like, what was something about somebody being blue and Jewish? You call them bluish. And then turns out, no, if you're black and Jewish, you would be bluish. And Abraham.
Oh, that's when they were in the cafeteria.
Yeah, and Bram is black and Jewish.
That is true.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, we'll say it gets a 1 on that.
Yeah, because Abby and Nick, they're main.
Now, this one I'm not sure of. LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or a tragedy.
Well, it's not a tragedy, and it's only a punchline to the assholes, but they get called out for. So no, it gets that. It gets that one. It gets that point too.
Yeah, I mean, this whole movie is about LGBTQ presence.
Yeah.
Now, it has no trans people in it, but it doesn't require that. It has some representation.
Yes.
Of LGBTQ in it, and that's fine. It's not a punchline, not a tragedy.
No.
Age, body type, or disability treated with dignity.
Well, it's not treated with non-dignity.
The old people tend to act like they act like old people. They act like...
Except for Mr. Worth acts like Steve Buscemi in that one SNL sketch.
Yeah. Hey, my dudes.
Hey, my fellow students.
My fellow students.
Yes.
Want to buy some drugs?
I have a weed.
But yeah, no, I think that it is treated with dignity. Although the principal surely played for comedic effect. Yeah. But he's over empathizing. He's trying very, very hard. I don't think he's a bad guy.
No. He reminds me of the principal that our youngest had on the first day of school. He played the drums at the opening orientation. Yeah. Like, hey, look, I am cool with the cool kids.
Yeah, trying way too hard.
And he's no longer there, so yay.
Camera gaze, not relentlessly sexualized or punitive.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
No, it was very well done. I don't think the camera was lingering anywhere. I think it was done very well, which is good because although these are not children, in reality, this is a story about children.
Definitely. And that could have been ick.
Yeah. All right.
So all 4 points, you think?
Yeah. Unless you have something that you want to take off.
Nope. I want to make sure I was getting them all.
All right. Now let's look at the Tremors Index. Now this is a basis for how we feel personally of how it lines up with one of the best movies, Tremors. Now, it's either 0, below Tremors, fails the basics, all the way up to 4, exceeds Tremors, rare, powerful, and intentional.
What do you think?
So, I think I'm going to hit it 3.
Yes. I honestly was going to say 4.
Okay, let's go through it. So anytime we get to that point where someone's got a feeling that it's something out of the norm, like a 4. I like to go through those steps.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll see how it hits. So 4 is exceeds Tremors, rare, powerful, intentional. 1, it matches Tremors' baseline and adds explicit thematic depth.
Okay. So the baseline for Tremors is competence is distributed across age class, which, yes, it does. Women make critical decisions without comment or apology. Yes, all 3 of the main women. Narrative assumes equality and moves on. Yes. And survival requires cooperation, not dominance. Nobody is better than anybody else to survive this.
Right.
Even Martin.
So what explicit thematic depth does this plunge into?
Well, I mean, it's talking about coming out. It's beyond just survival. It's about the emotional closet, but also him being able to have the bravery, really. Now, I hate to say that. It's not the bravery. He shouldn't have been outed, but he needed to. The theme of it is Simon becoming who he really is, showing the world who he really is inside. Not, and it, to me, because it's more of a personal and less of a an overarching. I think it focuses on the theme. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head, but I'm not sure if I'm getting that across.
No, I think that I see what you're saying. I do think that it adds some explicit depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it adds it in the fact that it's not really so much in this instance, on this one particular line, it's not about him coming out.
No.
It's about his survival. It's about, like you said, once you're out, what do you do with that?
That's it. I couldn't get those words the way I wanted them.
It's not enough to lose your chains. You have to know where you're going with it. You have to be able to still take the steps afterwards. And he is. It delves into these pieces of a person. And not just Simon.
No.
It delves into some other people too, and it gives them the grace of humanity.
Yes.
So I think I'll agree with that.
And the inclusivity is baked in.
And examined.
And it is examined.
That's true.
And nobody has nobody goes, oh, well, Nick and Abby are black and they can't be a part of us. There's no
are you sure
out.
You're gay?
Yeah. And the film would be lesser if any of its marginalized characters were removed. Yes.
Yeah. No one's being asked if they're sure they're gay. No one's being, maligned for being black or.
So
no
Ethan gets called out.
questioned.
Ethan gets picked on for being gay by the jocks, but Ethan gives as much as he gets, and then he shuts them down. When their only response is calling him the F word, that's what your comeback is?
Yeah.
Bitch,
yeah.
come at me, really bring it harder. I can take you down with words,
And the film would be lesser if any of its marginalized characters were removed.
Yeah.
It's true. Absolutely true. I think taking away the demographics would harm the movie.
Oh, definitely.
Pretty much irreparably, because you need to have the differences. I mean, we're all better because we fit together like puzzle pieces. And if you take the pieces out, you don't have a puzzle anymore. You just have a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a bad idea. I don't want a piece of the puzzle. I want to see what the picture is.
I agree.
So we have a level 4. Exceeds Tremors, rare, powerful, and intentional.
Yes.
That's pretty damn amazing. What are we looking at for our score?
We are looking at a 9 out of 9.
Are you kidding me? We have a perfect score?
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever had a perfect score before?
I think we have, and I was looking back to see. So we started the stitch count on Wild Wild West, so go figure.
What a hell of a film to hit it on.
But we have not gotten a perfect score yet. This was our first perfect score.
This is our first one. Yay. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of unexpected, but not totally unexpected.
Now, we've had a couple 8 out of 9s, but
sure, but
not,
this was a good movie.
It really was. I was surprised. I mean,
let me tell you.
Not in a bad way surprised, but I didn't know what we were
I was not looking forward to it.
Ah.
And I'll tell you why. Because I'm old. And this is about kids.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And I thought, well, this will feel weird because I'm watching someone I don't really have an identity with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gay boy. And I don't think I ever understood gay boys enough to know anything about them other than they were gay and boys.
Yeah.
And oftentimes people just assume trans women are gay boys. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. It's a completely different situation. It's like saying, you know what? I've got oil paints, but I've also got this Camaro. Okay. Yeah, but I want you to paint with the Camaro. Well, I can't. That's not oil paint. I can't do that.
It's not the same. You can't do that.
So it's the same thing. We're all in the same community, but we are all vastly different people, and trans people are not a monolith, but we're certainly not gay boys or gay girls. A lot of trans people are straight.
Yeah.
They're whatever the hell they are, because people have their own personalities. So I think I always get a little hesitant about watching a film with gay men in it, or where it's gay men or gay boys. Even The Birdcage, I was very hesitant.
Yeah. Because
I just don't know enough about them, because it's not my identity, it's theirs.
Yeah.
And I think I should see more of them, because I've always enjoyed them. Every time we've watched one, I've gone, this is great. And I kind of get why it's so hard for people to see trans films, because they don't know what they're getting into, and you're not going to, and no one's expecting you to fully understand them.
Yeah.
But this is your time. This is your time right now. I'm just going to call it out right now to our fives of listeners. This is Pride Month. It's quickly drawing to a close. We have several guests coming on over the next few weeks.
Yes, it wasn't this week. We're idiots. It's next week.
Sure. I was excited. So we have Pat Green, we have Polly Chattel. These are both authors. They're both dynamic people who are brilliant, and we love them. And we want you to listen to them because they both are in the LGBTQ community, and they have chosen their own films that they are not their own films, but because Polly's a filmmaker, but choosing films to see and talk about.
Yes.
And these are all important stories. Every movie about someone in the community means something. Even the worst ones, even the best ones, they all mean something. You can take your meanings out of them. So I invite you to please watch Love, Simon, or watch any of the other LGBTQ movies. Watch the ones we don't list, because there's so many, and I'm really dedicated to at least maybe putting one in a month so that we keep that going.
Yeah.
Because Pride doesn't have to end in June.
No. And in our area, it's in September.
Right. But it doesn't have to end ever. Pride Month is about being seen, and we should always be seen. And that means everybody should be seen. If you're marginalized, you need to have a voice, and that's what the platforms are for. And our platform is certainly going to give that voice to people.
Yep, I agree with you.
I guess it's me then.
Yep, it's on you.
Sorry, I
know.
I did a whole thing there.
That's okay.
I got very involved.
Well, it's weird now. I don't do the clues anymore, so it's like I don't know what to do. I don't do the clues. I don't tell you where to find it anymore. I have no job here.
You just did your job.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us for Love, Simon 2018. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We loved having you in our blanket fort, sharing the stories and feelings these movies evoke within us. The beautiful thing about the stories that really stay with us is that they follow us everywhere. Into the parts of ourselves we haven't quite introduced to the rest of the room yet, the ones we're still working up the nerve to name out loud. No matter where in the world you were listening from, with the right film and a little honest look at what it costs to hide, and what it feels like to finally stop. You might just find yourself sitting with every feeling this one stirred up and realize you needed to. Keep the stories going and the feelings flowing at cozyquiltcinema.com. There you can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky, send your feedback and personal reflections, or even leave a voice message. You can always find our episodes there and wherever you listen to podcasts. Please consider subscribing and leaving a rating. We would very much appreciate that.
You know what we didn't do? Talk about how this movie made us feel.
I think we did that throughout the entire thing.
That is the truth. Well, guys, it's been real. So, no analyzing dreams before coffee.
How did you get to do the line? Oh, because I talked a lot? Great. Man.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Si.
Yeah?
How long have you known?
I was around 13.
4 years. 4 years at eating dinner together, 4 years of going to movies together. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have missed it.
Hey, no, Ted.
All the stupid jokes.
I know you didn't mean them.
I just want you to know that I love you. I wouldn't change anything about you.
Hey, stop crying.
I'm trying. Oh, God. Come here.
I saw a video from Mom coming.
Good?
I don't know how to export it, dude.
Can you help me with that?
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, I thought maybe we could sign up for Grindr together.
You don't know what Grindr is, do you?
It's Facebook for gay people.
Not what it is.